watching Throttle House Express. I'm Thomas.
And I'm James.
And if you're a bit confused at what Express means, it's basically another format where we get to do simpler, easier car reviews. That means we can cover more cars that we want to film and gives us the time to, in the background, work on some pretty big projects.
Which we are doing.
Yes.
Okay, thank you to Mercedes-Benz Temecula. We are today playing with the new E53 AMG.
Yeah, this is a good looking car.
It is good looking.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
So many of the new generation of Mercedes and BMWs and Audis are coming out, and you just kind of go, oh, why?
No, I think Mercedes is doing the best.
Mercedes is doing the best.
I think the CLE53 looks wicked. Yep. I think the C63 looks wicked.
Yeah.
But the problem, as you're now noticing, is that doesn't necessarily mean the car is.
No, like the C63 is just...
it's the answer to a question no one asked for.
It's a bit of a stain.
And that.
Yeah.
And we weren't, even though the CLE53 was priced quite well, it was meh.
Yeah.
This represents hope.
Perhaps this is the first AMG of the new generation, plug-in hybrid, and, you know, curb weights that are similar to large Ford trucks.
Yeah, it's big.
It's going to be good, maybe.
Yeah. So this is not your usual E53 powertrain.
No.
Even though we have a turbocharged six-cylinder,
yes, it
is connected to a plug-in hybrid.
Yeah.
Which means it's powerful.
Yeah.
But it's also just over 5,000 pounds in
Actually,
weight.
we don't know exactly because Mercedes won't write down the weight anywhere. They probably weighed the car and went, nobody say anything.
Yeah, they saw the M5.
Don't write it down.
Stuff, yeah.
They saw what happened to the M5.
But hey, it's not as heavy as an M5.
No.
So it's like,
we don't think.
It's M4.93 in weight.
Yeah.
And it's still packing 577 horsepower.
Yeah.
Unless you put it in race mode, which this race start, sorry.
Race start.
Yeah, it doesn't have race mode.
Yep.
It's not 63 or an S.
Yeah.
And that gives you 604 horsepower.
Yeah, because the turbocharged inline six is working in conjunction with the EV, which is in between the transmission, which is actually a torque converter in this one. And there's a battery out back, so weight distribution should be pretty good. Kind of like the AMG GT63 4MATIC Plus all-wheel drive four-door coupe.
Yes.
Yeah.
However, you have to ask yourself, does that matter when it comes to an E-Class? Because really, more importantly, it just looks sick. It looks sick.
Yeah, it looks sick because it's the Edition 1 or whatever.
Edition 1's got a lot going on, yeah. So the Edition 1 gives us this moonlight...
He knows the name.
Moonlight white Magno paint.
There it is, yep.
I feel like I should poop that one out. Which looks very, you know, putting up to a nightclub, but it works. And we've got this S63 style surround, which is in black chrome. It has all the night packages. It's got carbon fiber packages. It's got these 21-inch wheels.
That's probably going to be a problem. I bet you right now, if you open that door and look at the tire pressures, they're going to be in the 50s because to deal with this much weight and not have the tires fold over in the corner, you have to have a lot of pressure.
You're wrong.
I'm wrong.
51 in the rear.
51 in the rear.
44 in the front though.
Exactly. So with that, basically was a hockey puck wrapped around a really the ride's going to be stiff, right? That's what's going to happen.
We'll see.
That's the problem.
We'll
with these.
see. I think it looks really good.
Okay.
I think that starting $88,000 US doesn't sound insane.
It doesn't actually sound insane. It's a lot of power, a good looking car.
Although this one is 110 with all the Edition 1 stuff, which gives it the AMG driver stuff. But it also gives it yellow stuff on the inside.
Okay, let's go. Let's go drive it. Let's take a look.
Right, the interior.
Quite screeny.
A screen,
There's lots of screens.
Well, you remember we had the hyper screen in the EQS. The E-Class gets the super screen, which is, it's sort of, it doesn't do the whole, that's separate.
Oh, it's totally different.
You can option this without this. Even though I get my own screen here, which is kind of fun.
It's kind of fun, but it's fun for 5 minutes, and then you're like, what am I going to do with it?
But from this I can operate the selfie camera, which is what that is. That's what Mercedes call it, the selfie camera. And at first we were like, that's ridiculous.
This is what's wrong with Mercedes.
Say that again, please.
No, shut up.
The selfie camera is also a Zoom business meeting camera. So it's not that bad.
Oh, that actually kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
But yeah, otherwise this is a completely pointless screen. You can option it without. You can get a really nice panel of wood here with an AMG logo that lights up and sort of glows.
Yeah.
Which looks a sort of more fancy.
Yeah.
Otherwise, You know what? At least this looks different. To this looks better than the S63 we had.
I think I agree. It looks better than the S63,
Yeah.
which is pretty bad. Look at that one strip of ambient lighting that's running up there.
Well, I don't know if you noticed just then when we said "Hey Mercedes," it changed.
Yeah, it like did a little bit of it.
She knows I'm talking.
Oh, yeah, see, you said it now.
Yeah.
Now we gotta wait for her.
I have to say the "Hey Mercedes" in this has been quite impressive.
Yeah.
So we couldn't find because we're morons. We couldn't find the tire pressures in the menu.
Yeah.
And so we said, "Hey Mercedes, what are my tire pressures?"
Could you repeat that, please?
That actually happened last time. "Hey Mercedes, what are my tire pressures?"
Just a moment. I'll have a look. Front left 44, front right 44, rear left 46, rear right 47.
So that's about right for cold pressures then.
Yeah.
Okay, that worked out pretty well. So this ambient lighting strip right now is the same color as the stitching because it has the Edition 1 package, which says Edition 1 on the seats.
You can change that.
Right, so you can make it purple or green or
I
whatever.
do love all the yellow. I even like the door sill plates with the yellow AMG.
Yeah, it's kind of, it's
I'm
a nice
a sucker
theme.
for the spec.
It's a nice
Yeah.
theme, honestly. I don't mind it at all.
And most importantly, I think I'm so impressed with these seats. At first, you get in and you're like, oh, this is way too bolstered.
Yeah.
But you can change the bolstering, where you can ask Mercedes, I'm not going to do it, but she can direct you to that menu.
Yeah.
You can extend what's this bit called?
The seat base, I don't know.
The underknee.
The underknee.
The underknee. and
Yes.
so that gives you support. They're heated, they're cooled, they vibrate to the music when it's playing, which is questionable.
No, they're actually like one of the better sports seats out there.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
you're in
mind them.
E-Class, and you're not even in a 63.
Yeah.
So this is option. The way this like visually feels, it's all 63.
Yeah.
And you got the AMG wheel.
And I have the AMG wheel. Well, this is part of the AMG driver's package.
Right.
Right. Which comes in anyway, the spec is boring. The spec isn't boring, but talking about specs is boring. Let's talk about the way that it drives. So I don't have a full race mode. I've got Sport Plus.
Right.
Right. So I can't do Master Race mode.
You can't do Master Race. You can't decouple the front. You haven't got drift mode.
No, I haven't got any of that stuff. But I can put it in manual mode, and I can shift with the paddles.
So that gives you access to the 9-speed TCT, torque converting technology.
That's pretty quick, you know? That's not bad at all.
With the speed?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a quick car. With race start, they claim 3.8 seconds to 100 kilometers an hour, 62 miles an hour.
That's actually, it's
not M5.
No, it's definitely not M5, and it's not previous gen E53 either. But it's a really nicely tuned power band. It pulls right to the top.
And I found even in comfort mode, it transitions between the EV and the petrol really nicely.
Yeah, no, that's fun. The shifts are a bit, you see,
They leave you wanting.
if you don't hit it right at the right time, I don't know, it just kind of, okay, so corners are starting to happen now.
Yeah. I feel nice and bolstered.
This is feeling pretty good, actually. It's going to get twistier in a minute. But, okay, before we really get to the way that that's really my thing. That's what I care about, is that I just don't want this 5,100-pound car to feel heavy and cumbersome and stupid. I will say that in Sport Plus right now, the ride is too stiff, and there's a lot of road noise. What are you doing over there, by the way?
I've found the lumbar, because you can also change the lumbar on these seats. But the best thing about that is
it's boobs.
It's boobs.
They're boobs.
It's boobs.
Yeah, there's boobs there.
Or
Those are some Madonna boobs. What are you doing?
or it's months pregnant, you know, like one.
Yeah, months. Yeah, that's right. Oh, you're twins!
Congratulations.
Are you hearing all that road noise?
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't want to go there because I think this is compromised as an E.
Yeah.
We always talk about this, whether it's more M than 5 or 5 than M, or whether it's more S than 63.
Yeah.
And I think this is more 53 than E currently.
And you know, maybe that's not a bad thing, because if you don't want the 53, I guess you can always just get the E450 or whatever the heck there is, right? But you know, you see, back in the day, these super saloons, as they're called, were way more. They're comfortable sedans, whatever, but they're also friggin' fast. Now we keep trying to turn them into sports cars.
I don't know if that's, but
Or is it just the weight?
It's the
Maybe
weight.
it's just the weight thing.
It's all the weight.
I know.
They obviously want this to be as comfortable as possible in comfort, but when it comes to over 5,000 pounds, it just has to be quite taut.
Okay, here we go. Oh, it's quick.
Yeah, that's
Ooh, it's nice. Rear wheel steering, right?
Yeah, it's got that whole thing where it's 2.5 degrees rear, up to 60 miles an hour, and then it's like 0.7 for stability at higher speeds.
Oh, that's actually very, very nice.
That feels good, actually.
That feels really good.
It sounds quite good.
I don't mind the sound at all.
It could be. It doesn't sound loud. It's not visceral the way the 63 was.
So this is actually doing that thing that the M5 didn't do for me, which is feel deft.
The deft.
It's feeling deft. It feels like the steering is really nice, really strong on center feel, but it's got this nice little delicacy to the way that it transfers its weight. And I don't even think I need the Sport Plus like suspension.
No,
right?
This in comfort is absolutely fine.
I'm gonna put this in comfort right now.
And these seats are keeping me absolutely in place.
I'm locked in. Really locked in. This doesn't feel bad. This is a good feeling car.
It's fun.
I'm actually having a bit of fun in a big heavy Mercedes. You see that on the compression on the suspension, it's one and done, right? It's not bouncing me, it's not jostling me. We're stuck behind an Altima. That's annoying. But honestly, like it feels really locked in, this car.
But I will say that as much as that's nice, I wish it gave a bit more comfort in the city.
Yeah.
This is going to be purchased by city folk.
Yes, city folk.
City folk. And I just...
For me, it's less the stiffness and it's more the translation of the road noise, right? With the stiffer suspension in this package and like the extra big wheels, which you don't need, and the fact that the tire pressures have to be so high, you're just getting that constant roar.
But that's what's giving you this precision around here, probably.
Probably,
You'd have to give up a little bit of that. But I think I would.
Give up a little bit of this?
A little bit, yeah.
Just back it off a bit. Back it off a bit.
And as far as the interior is concerned, there's not much I would change. Maybe I'd do the wood thing here. But
I would do the wood thing.
Yeah, you do it? Yeah, with
yeah.
The rear seats are comfortable. I've got plenty of legroom, a little bit of headroom. Harrison is a giraffe, so he hasn't got that much headroom, but bloody hell.
This car can fucking hustle. Did I swear?
I don't know.
I think I did. We'll have to bleep that. That was genuine. No, I'm seriously impressed by it. It's fun.
Yeah. Normally we get upset when things dilute, the M or the AMG.
Yeah.
Because this, like everything going on here says full AMG. And I don't, as far as dilutions go, I don't think it's done badly.
No, not at all. I like this. Like if we lived in a slightly altered universe and you told me that this was the E53 and I didn't care or know about V8s, I would go like, yeah, like if this was, you'd bring someone from the 70s and put them in this and say, this is the hottest Mercedes you can get. They'd be like, oh my God, it's so fast. Like it's an incredible car, honestly. And I really like it. I just wish those ride was softer. I think that's the end.
That's where, I think that is the only place where I feel the weight.
Yeah.
You're
right.
Is all the things they've done to compensate for it.
Yeah.
That's where I feel it. Because otherwise, it really handles itself nicely.
Right, and that's the problem. That's what we keep saying, is that a lot of these cars, they're not handling the mass in a way that's making it worth how crap the ride is.
Right.
This does seem to be almost making that.
Okay, lots of good.
Yeah.
Some bad.
Some bad.
Let's find a nice spot to conclude and see if this is
redeemed.
I was going to say resuscitated.
Redeemed AMG in our minds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Heavy doors.
They are heavy, but not as heavy as the CLE 53. That was ridiculous.
All right, here's what I don't understand.
Okay.
Is it Ruth's Chris?
You don't get to bring this up because Ruth's Chris has been bugging me for decades.
That doesn't make any sense.
It is the dumbest name for any establishment ever made in history.
Right, well now we got that out of the way.
Yeah.
I still don't understand it.
Ruth's Chris.
This car I understand a bit more. I was really worried.
Yeah.
I was worried about it.
I was also worried that it was going to be really crappy, and it really isn't.
I do think that the way this is set up right now, the road noise is too much.
It is. It's like a constant roar from the tires.
And that's it.
That's about the only problem.
Yeah.
The ride's maybe a bit too stiff.
Yeah.
But that's kind of just part of the noise issue, I think.
I think it looks good. It goes well.
Yeah.
It has an amazing electric range.
Yeah. it's not overpriced.
It's not overpriced.
Yeah.
Is it M5 level?
No.
No.
It's not M5 price.
It's not that quick, but it's a cut price M5 with a Mercedes badge.
Yeah.
All right, so here's my question then.
Okay.
110 grand
Yes.
as spec'd. I don't know all the cars in the world, but in my head this sort of goes against things like an RS5.
An RS5, yeah, that would be a pretty good option actually.
And then in the UK, you got things like the M3 Touring, which we don't have.
The M3 Touring is extremely cool. But you can get this as a Touring.
You can get this as a Touring,
Yeah.
but not in North America.
Not North America, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. There's not much more to say. This might be the first like baby step towards like AMG really being AMG again. It kind of had a little bit of that.
For a reasonable number.
Spice to it, yeah.
What happens if they bring out an E63? Full V8.
I hope they do. And I hope they find a way to keep the road noise down and the weight down.
They won't. They won't do it.
It'll
be a plug-in hybrid V8.
It'll be really, really heavy,
But
won't it?
maybe the M5 will have that. I want the M5 to have a rival. I want it to have something to fight.
Yeah. Because we have to wagon off.
We do have to wagon off.
We do have to wagon off at some point.
All right, well, as it stands, E53.
Pretty good.
That's a 1 3/4 thumbs up.
3/4 thumbs.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Which is not the amount of thumbs I give Ruth's Chris.
No, really.
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse.
Ruth, but it's just the
Is it her son? Is it her son?
I don't know, but who's...
I dedicate this steak to you.
But it's Ruth's
You
Chris.
big T-bone
Why does the
little
Chris
bitch.
belong to Ruth?
Because it might be her son or her husband.
So it's like Ruth's baby Chris. So it's like that's my son, Chris. Ruth's Chris.
Yeah.
Ruth's Chris. That's what it sounds like when you say it. It's stupid.